Have you ever been in a situation where two team members strongly disagree about the project direction? Or maybe someone felt their ideas were not being heard? Or perhaps a misunderstanding in communication suddenly created tensions within a team that was working perfectly just a week ago. Now, here is a question for you. As a leader, what do you do in this situation? Do you step in immediately? Do you try to calm things down? Or do you hope that conflict will resolve itself? The truth is that conflict is inevitable wherever passionate people work together, especially in communities like ours. Hi, my name is Edvard Grigoryan and I am a global board member of the Kectil Program. Today I want to talk with you not just about leadership in theory, but about something that every Kectil leader eventually faces. How to manage conflict within your community or team in a constructive and productive way. This can be also useful when working inside Kectil community. We come from different cultural backgrounds. We have different perspectives. And while this diversity makes us strong, it also means that disagreements can naturally arise. But conflict does not have to weaken a team. In fact, when handled well, conflict can strengthen trust, improve collaboration, and lead to better results. So, today I want to walk you through a practical step-by-step approach to manage conflict as a leader. Step 1. Set boundaries and ground rules. The first thing every leader should do is create a clear expectations for respectful communication. In Kectil teams, we often work across countries, cultures, and time zones. Miscommunication can easily happen. That's why leaders must establish simple but important rules. Respect each other's perspectives, avoid personal attacks, focus on the problem, not the person. When these boundaries are clear, conflicts are less likely to escalate. Think of it as creating safe space for disagreement, because disagreement itself is not bad, disrespect is. Step 2. Create neutral space for dialogue. When a conflict appears, don't try to solve it in the middle of the heated group discussion. Instead, create a neutral space for conversation. This could be a dedicated team meeting or even one-on-one conversation with the individuals involved. The goal is to create an environment where people feel comfortable sharing their thoughts honestly. When people feel safe to speak openly, half the conflict is already resolved. Step 3. Be aware of your own biases. As leaders, we often have closer relationship with some team members than others. But when resolving conflict, it's essential to remain neutral. Your role is not to choose a side. Your role is to facilitate understanding. Ask yourself, am I listening equally to both perspectives? Am I making assumptions too quickly? Fairness builds trust, and trust is essential for leadership. Step 4. Give everyone the opportunity to speak. One of the most common reasons conflict escalates is simple. People feel unheard. As a leader, your responsibility is to ensure that everyone involved has the chance to express their perspective. Practice active listening. This means listening without interrupting, asking clarifying questions, and sometimes even summarizing what you heard. For example, you might say, "So, if I understand correctly, you felt that your suggestion was overlooked during the planning process." This simple technique helps people feel acknowledged and respected. Step 5. Shift the focus towards solution. Once everyone has shared their perspective, the next step is changing the focus. Instead of asking who was right or wrong, ask what solution will help the team move forward. In Kectil projects, our goal is always collaboration. Remind team members of the shared mission you are working toward. Whether it's organizing an event, launching a project, or building partnerships. When people reconnect with the shared goal, they become more open to compromise. Step 6. Create an action plan. A conversation alone is not enough. Once a solution is agreed upon, the leader should help the team create a clear action plan. Who will do what? What are the next steps? How will communication improve going forward? This prevents the same misunderstanding from happening again. It also shows that the conflict resolution process leads to real progress. Step 7. Don't avoid tension. Sometimes leaders hesitate to address conflict because they want to keep harmony within the team, but avoiding conflict often creates bigger problems later. Small tensions grow into frustration, and frustration grows into division. Strong leaders address issues early and respectfully. Conflict is not something to fear, it's something to manage constructively. Key strategies every Kectil leader should practice. Beyond these steps, there are several habits that make leaders more effective in conflict situations. The first is active listening and empathy. When someone feels that their concerns are truly heard, the emotional intensity of the conflict immediately decreases. Empathy does not mean agreeing with someone. It means acknowledging their perspective and showing respect for their feelings. Another critical skill is clear and constructive communication. Avoid blaming language such as "you always," "you never." Instead, focus on collaborative language like "how can we improve this together?" This small change in communication can completely transform the tone of a conversation. It's always important to identify the root cause of the conflict. Sometimes the issue is not really about immediate disagreement. It could be unclear responsibilities, miscommunication about deadlines, or different expectations about leadership roles. Finding the root cause allows leaders to create long-term solutions. Another useful strategy is encouraging collaboration and compromise. In strong teams, conflict resolution should never produce winners and losers. Instead, leaders should help team members find solutions where everyone feels respected and valued. This strengthens team unity. Finally, leaders must always follow up after the conflict is resolved. Check in with the team, ask if the solution is working, make sure relationships are improving. Follow-up shows that leadership is not just about solving problems once, it's about building a healthy team culture over time. Conflict will always exist wherever passionate leaders work together. And in a global community like Kectil, the diversity of perspectives is actually one of our greatest strengths. The role of a leader is not to eliminate disagreement. The role of a leader is to transform disagreement into dialogue and dialogue into progress. When we handle conflict with empathy, fairness, and clarity, we don't just resolve problems. We build stronger teams, stronger collaboration, and ultimately a stronger Kectil community.